Today we were running an exercise for a company, bearing in mind I'm now in the private sector, and we sat everybody down in the city, 1,000 people involved in the whole organisation, with the crisis team. And the most peculiar thing was we based our scenario on the simultaneous attacks on the Underground and mainline station. So we had to suddenly switch an exercise from fictional to real. So we had to suddenly switch an exercise from fictional to real. Today we were running an exercise for a company, bearing in mind I'm now in the private sector, and the most peculiar thing was we based our scenario on the simultaneous attacks on the Underground and mainline station. So we had to suddenly switch an exercise from fictional to real.
Information that you knew.
I don't think we can say that we had some special insight to the terrorist network, otherwise I'd be under arrest myself. The truth of it is...
But it is a coincidence.
It's a coincidence, and it's a spooky coincidence. Our scenario was very similar, it wasn't...
So we had to suddenly switch an exercise from fictional to real. So we had to suddenly switch an exercise from fictional to real.
Terrorist network, otherwise I'd be under arrest myself. Otherwise I'd be under arrest myself.
Just to get this right, you were actually working today on an exercise that envisioned virtually this scenario.
Almost precisely. My own company, Visor Consultants, we specialise in helping people to get their crisis management response. How do you jump from slow time thinking to quick time doing? And we chose a scenario with their assistance, which is based on a terrorist attack.
At 9:30 this morning, we were actually running an exercise for over a company with 1,000 people in London, based on simultaneous bombs going off precisely at the railway stations that happened this morning. So I still have the hairs on the back of my neck standing upright.
To get this quite straight, you were running an exercise to see how you would cope with this, and it happened while you were running the exercise?
Precisely. And it was about 9:30 this morning. We planned this for a company, and for obvious reasons I don't want to reveal their name, but if they're listening, they'll know it. And we had a room full of crisis managers for the first time they met. And so within 5 minutes we made a pretty rapid decision. This is the real one. And standing upright.
To get this quite straight, you were running an exercise to see how you would cope with this, and it happened while you were running the exercise?
Precisely. And it was about 9:30 this morning. We planned this for a company, and for obvious reasons I don't want to reveal their name.
So we had to suddenly switch an exercise from fictional to real. So we had to suddenly switch an exercise from fictional to real.
You were actually working today on an exercise that envisioned virtually this scenario.
Almost precisely. So we had to suddenly switch an exercise from fictional to real. We chose a scenario with their assistance, which is based on a terrorist attack.
How extraordinary today must feel for you as it unfolds.
Our scenario was very similar, it wasn't totally identical, but it was based on bombs going off to the time, the locations, all this sort of stuff.
Today we were running an exercise for a company.